So I'm not going to front. When I first saw Jiro on the first page, I was kind of disappointed because I was like, we're going away from the main storyline. This chapter is probably going to be lackluster or just a step down in quality from the previous ones. Not that it's going to be bad or anything, but wow, that couldn't be further from the truth. This chapter was excellent. And it really shows why Horikoshi is one of the best in the game today. Like, he made a feast out of this chapter consisting of a secondary storyline with just ancillary characters, and this is so compelling. So we're seeing what happened after the previous chapter left off with Mount Lady, colliding with Gigantomachia, and as I said in the previous review, if he doesn't just toss her to the side, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. But fortunately, that did happen, and he absolutely beasted her, as expected, because he should. I mean, Gigantomachia is rivaling 100% full Cowling at this point. Maybe a little weaker, maybe a little stronger. I don't know. It's hard to say. He doesn't have enough feats, but regardless, this is showing us that, yeah, he's definitely one of the strongest characters, as I have always been campaigning for, since this character was introduced, pretty much. And they finally start really digging into the hype on him. They're like, oh, that's the guy that they call the walking disaster. It's like, yeah, pretty much. But we also see, the League on his back, as we knew that was going to happen. And then Skeptic is there, as we saw in the previous chapter as well. And I was a little confused by that. And it seems like even Skeptic himself is confused. He's like, why did he only pick me up? And that's a good question. I don't know. I guess it has something to do with Skeptic's quirk. Now, I'm not saying that is why Giganto picked him up. I'm saying that's why Horikoshi put him on Giganto's back. His quirk, from what I remember, was like he can make like these gorilla henchmen things by touching like objects and stuff. And they're like kind of autonomous, but they're not really self-aware at the same time. So maybe his quirk is going to play into the rest of this arc or the future of it, or after this arc, if the story continues afterwards, possibly. But then we're coming to Getten, and I really like Getten. Always liked him. Should be a her. And using like the ice powers, fighting against the heroes here, and our boy Cementos coming back again with the heat here. Oh man, I got up out of my chair when I read this. I was like, oh boy, because I love Cementos. How can you not love this guy? He's like that sleeping giant. He's always kind of been there, always in the background. And finally, he's having his time to shine. I mean, if you've been following the channel and my reviews since this arc has started, like a couple months ago when he busted the mansion up, that was, the big coming out party for Cementos. But it's just continuing here because he's taken down Getten, one of the strongest villains, easily, top 10. So this is a huge win for Cementos if he does get the job done here. And I'm thinking he does. It looks like he's essentially defeated Getten with this cement tornado that he's making or something. But continuing the battles here, we got re-destro going against Edgeshot and a whole bunch of other heroes. This is what this arc should have been the whole time, honestly. Like, just have these awesome fantasy matchups. Throw the best villains against the best heroes, and let's just have fun with it. But there's no finality to this battle or anything, so hopefully they'll come back to it. But, we're seeing re-destro's double stress bomb, it looks like he's throwing off, and it's just as powerful as I remember it. It was kind of like rivaling a Detroit Smash, so serious power here. It's definitely worthy of having multiple heroes having to take this guy on at once. He's that strong, easily. So then we're coming to Kamui Woods, my other boy. And if you guys have seen my theories videos that I've been making recently, I hold Kamui Woods in very high regard. I think that he is going to be like the saving grace of the second half of the series. Like, he is going to be the one that takes all of the students either to America or to refuge or just somewhere. Like, he is going to be a major player in the second half of this series if it does continue. And I also think that's the reason why he's surviving Dobby here. Because, yeah, he's getting blasted by Dobby. And I was a little worried at first because it didn't look like he survived. He was just kind of like a char while he was holding on to Midnight. But no, he does survive because he is with Mount Lady at the end of this chapter. And then we come to the point of Midnight trying to get up in Gigantomachia's face and like make him pass out with her quirk, which is a good idea on paper, but maybe that's not even potent enough for somebody as big and strong as him. Maybe she would need to like have an awakening to her quirk in order to take him down or something. But the foundation for taking him down is there for sure. And it seems like they're going with that, considering how the rest of the things play out in this chapter. But Mr. Compress, showing that he is still a threat. Like, his quirk is still awesome. Like, because you just see the marbles in front of her and then boop, it's debris and she gets leveled by this. Awesome sequence here. And yeah, this just completely wrecks Midnight, unfortunately, this is the, it's kind of hard to watch this because, we've never really seen her take damage like this, and she's been a beloved character since the beginning of the series. So it really sucks to see this, and I think she's probably kicking the bucket here, unfortunately. Considering we've just had multiple heroes kick the bucket just from Shigaraki's decay alone, a couple chapters back, I think it's likely, I'll say, that Midnight is gone here. Of course, there's the chance that she survives, and I hope that she does, but I'm not holding my breath. This arc is truly the tragic one, and he's kind of telling us, it's like, hey, no more heroes. This is what Shigaraki wanted, and it's coming to fruition at the expense of some of your favorite characters even. So we're getting to Yaoyorozu's big character arc. Finally, we have got it. This is it. And it's pretty satisfying, I gotta say. It was a little annoying seeing her still struggling with decision-making and being indecisive, since that has been plaguing her character the literal entire series. So you thought maybe she would just snap into it at this point and not even have the whole struggling moment. But she does, and it's fine. I guess it's just further illustrating that she still, is not perfect, but she still has definitely come to her paradigm shift. Because, she's finally like, you know what? Nah! I had enough of this. All right, you do this, you do that. Mudman, please lend us your power. Love Hononuki here. When she says, Mudman, lend us your power, I assume that he's just going to soften up the ground around Gigantomachia, like the path that he's coming in. So when he's running, he's just going to be stepping into swamp, and that could slow him down in theory, but then again, he's ultra powerful and huge, so maybe he just beasts through that as well. And we're coming back to that sequence I was talking about that reveals that Kamui Woods has in fact survived. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, that's good. Not even just for the sake of my theory, just I like Kamui Woods. I want him to survive this arc. But and then we get the little comical line from Mount Lady, which further confirms that they are in fact together, which is great. But then we're coming to Yaoyorozu producing the anesthetics and handing them out to everyone, which is a good idea. Like I said, on paper, this could work. I mean, especially if this stuff is like ultra potent, which, I mean, it is. So what's going to happen at this point? Well, here we go. This is a little bonus for this review because I'm going to throw in my crazy theory possibility. Now, this isn't 100% concrete. Just saying it's a possibility and something that can happen here. So now, either this is just going to work out for the best, and we're going to see Class 1A, with 1B here, the underdogs, the students, take down Gigantomachia successfully. Like, it all works in tandem. We got Hononuki, like I said, softens the ground, stifles Gigantomachia, then maybe Kaminari electrocutes him or something, and then everyone else does their little things, and then they all inject him with whatever they do with the anesthetic. They get him into him, and then he just falls asleep, and then they have to fight the League of Villains. That could happen. Now, option 2 is that Gigantomachia just blasts through them, and then they're unsuccessful in their attempt, although they have a pretty good effort at trying, but it is unsuccessful in the end. But like, you still see it as like somewhat of a small victory for them, possibly. Now, here's where the big crazy theory comes in. Option 3. This is where the traitor reveals themselves. Yep, that's right. I still think the traitor is still a thing. We can't forget about that. And I know because Kaminari kind of confirmed that he wasn't the traitor a couple chapters back when he went against that electric dude from the Liberation Army. But I'm saying there's still a possibility, okay? Like small percentages, guys, that Kaminari is still the traitor here. Maybe, maybe not, but I still do think there is a traitor nonetheless. So maybe this is where Hagakure comes in. Because, where's Hagakure been, guys? Where's she at? Oh, that's right. She could be right there and you'd never know. So it's possible that, like, as soon as they're going to start using the anesthetic, then, like, Hagakure or whoever the traitor is just sabotages them. They just stop, they break the anesthetics or whatever, and then that successfully allows Gigantomachia to go to Jakku City, and then the group here has to fight against the traitor. Now, doesn't that sound pretty awesome? I mean, at least to me it does, and I hope that happens. But like I said, it could be any of the 3 options that I put out there. There could even be a 4th one that I'm not even thinking of, and you probably have. But let me know in the comments if there's a 4th option here. But aside from that, great chapter, like I said, fantastic. 8 out of 10. If you liked it, the review, please give it a like. And like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. And I also have a Patreon, gives you extra weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.